Previously in Luxor, we explored ancient tombs, hidden queens, and stories carved in stone. But now, we're taking it to new heights. In part 2 of our top adventures in Luxor, we float above the Valley of the Kings, step inside temples older than memory, and end our journey with sunsets over the Nile. If part 1 was about the past, part 2 is about perspective. Let's go. The next morning, we woke before dawn. This moment had lived on my bucket list for years, and it was finally time. We crossed the Nile in a small motorboat as dozens of hot air balloons began to inflate. Childlike excitement took over. I couldn't stop smiling. The sheer grandeur of the balloons made me feel tiny in the best possible way. Like a kid on Christmas morning, wide-eyed, overwhelmed, and completely in awe. And then, absolute silence. Floating above the Valley of the Kings and Queens as the sun rose, painting the sky with fire and gold, it was calm, surreal, and deeply grounding. Rising higher and higher, you can't help but feel insignificant. Drifting above the entire West Bank, the vastness unfolds beneath you. Ancient tombs, golden cliffs, the curve of the Nile. It's humbling and breathtaking. There's something about seeing it all from above that makes the whole experience feel even more sacred. Later that evening, we watched the balloons float across the sky from the comfort of the Hilton. A cold local brew in hand, the Nile glimmering gold in the late afternoon light. It was the perfect way to come back down to earth. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the sky turned soft and pink. then slowly surrendered to night. Shisha in hand, I sat in silence, grateful. Grateful for the stillness, for the magic of this place, for the chance to see the world from above and return to it changed. If heat had a personality, Karnak was it. Dry, scorching, relentless, and yet it felt absolutely right. Karnak is the largest religious complex ever built, a labyrinth of temples, obelisks, and sanctuaries, each step echoing with history. Despite the sweat, I did not want to leave. You're looking at one of the most awe-inspiring parts of Karnak, the Great Hypostyle Hall. These 134 sandstone columns rise up like a forest of stone, some over 20 meters tall. Each one carved with scenes of rituals, gods, and pharaohs, trying to immortalize their power. This wasn't just a temple, it was an evolving spiritual complex built over 2,000 years by dozens of rulers, each adding their mark, each trying to outdo the one before them. Standing beneath them, it's hard not to feel small, and yet strangely connected to something much larger than yourself. That evening we wandered Luxor Temple, just as the sky began to glow. The crowds were heavier here, but the energy felt alive. It's incredible how these temples shift with the light. They're not just ancient, they're timeless. Luxor Temple isn't just grand, it's deeply symbolic. Unlike Karnak, which was a public space of worship, Luxor was believed to be the temple of rejuvenation. a sacred space tied to the divine birth of kings. It was originally built by Amenhotep III, one of ancient Egypt's most powerful pharaohs, and later expanded by Ramesses II, whose statues still guard the entrance. Each ruler left their mark, not just in stone, but in legacy. Pharaohs came here to honour the gods and reaffirm their own divinity, linking themselves to Amun, the king of gods. This was a place where royalty was symbolically reborn, where power and spirituality merged. And if you visit in the evening, as we did, the entire temple transforms. Soft light flickers across statues and columns, shadows stretch, and history feels alive again. You don't just walk through ruins here, you walk through a legacy of kings, gods, and the myths they built their empires on. We ended our Luxor days with lunch in town, followed by what was meant to be a felucca ride. But without wind, no sail. So we took a motorboat instead and drifted gently down the Nile, watching locals bathe, laugh, and cool off. It was raw, human, and a reminder that travel isn't just about the monuments, it's about moments. Seeing these locals smile, acknowledge us, wave, and connect even though we've never met has warmed my soul, and it's a beautiful depiction of the Egyptian people that live here in Luxor. Back at the Hilton, we watched the sky melt into orange once more. The Nile reflected gold. We sat in silence, shisha in hand, knowing that Luxor had imprinted something on us. And as always, the best part about travel isn't the place, it's the way it changes you. While we say goodbye to Luxor, we're definitely not saying goodbye to Egypt. Stay tuned as the next chapter awaits.